Hello everyone and welcome to the competitive team championship here for Division 2 in Season 2, and we are at round 9, which is at Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, hoping for an exciting 36 laps around here, obviously an 18 minutes qualifying as well, which sets the grid for the contest around Zandvoort. Now in the commentary box, making my debut here in CTC is Omi. So hello, great to be here, great to be bringing you coverage here on the YouTube. And just a reminder to like and subscribe as well, and make sure you tune in and join our Discord as well to just get some of the extra information. But really excited for this. I think it's going to be a great race. And will we see any, teams, obviously the teams will work together, but will we see any situations where we have the teams 1 and 2 and maybe a bit of strategy game? We definitely see a lot of that, so really looking forward to this. A bit more of a different kind of, a bit of this is a bit more different than, for example, your usual leagues. It's more about the team, so it's a very interesting, it's very interesting to watch these races, see how they play. And I'm really looking forward to this. So getting the stream up nice and early, we'll take you through the standings. First of all, sorry if you did hear any echoing right in the background right at the beginning. I just usually like to do that to make sure the sound works, especially when there's no other commentator. There's actually no way to know unless someone obviously might say in the chat, but always great to just make sure it's working, because I don't want to be talking to myself even for 5 minutes. And well, there we go, confirming in live chat, no echo. Well, that's exactly what we want to hear. So that is absolutely good. 11 drivers currently in. And what will the weather do as well? That's another question. What will the weather do? We could see a bit of wet in there, maybe a bit of I think we're gonna get some dry at least. It depends, unless the game decides to give us wet quali and wet race, which if we are gonna get any wet, I would like a weather changing race for obviously us as a obviously me being a commentator and as obviously a spectator to this. We want to see the most action as possible. The drivers might not agree with that one though. I think especially the teams that look good, they're just gonna want the most boring race as possible. And well, some teams that are looking good, we'll take you through our standings. So it's Victus Racing with 142. They could, I think they're gonna want the calmest race and everything just goes their way once again. But GSB Esports with 88, they're gonna try and deny them. And then Juventus Racing with 86 sit in 3rd position, and then Team is 1 in 4th position with 83. So currently close for the battle for 2nd position. Victus Racing have run away a bit with this one. I did try and see as much as I can about all of the previous live streams and some of the results, as obviously I wasn't really following much of it until obviously I joined as a commentator. So, and then we have WR Esports with 37 sitting in 5th position. And so we do have this little, I guess, kind of battle, so we can say obviously dominating right at the front, Victus Racing currently, which it can easily change. So anything is possible still in this championship. And then we obviously have the battle between GSB, Juventus, Team is 1 for 2nd position. And then for 5th position currently we have WR Esports and then Team ASE, and also in their GTZ Esports and XRT Racing Team as well, all in the 30s and 20s, so they're pretty close. Virtual Racing Academy, they can maybe get in the mix in that battle as well. And then right to the bottom in 10th position, it is BNL Racing Esports. So that's how the teams currently go into this race. A lot of them though are going to be hoping to change that, and we're currently just waiting in. Now, really happy that this race is going ahead. Obviously, as I want to commentate first of all, but the only negative would be for me is I don't get to have my dinner, and I have to have it after this then. But yeah, really great anyway. for this race to be going ahead, and that's why obviously we might have a tiny bit of everything being a bit delayed, because we didn't know if this was going ahead, and before it actually looked like it wasn't going ahead because of the EA servers at the time were not looking too good. Even for me, I just had to keep spamming the retry button, but some people weren't even getting the same screen as for retry. So we had to, so we found out around, I would say, was it at 40? I think we found out a bit then that it started working a bit, and then obviously we got our decision a bit later on. But so great for this to be going ahead, and a great Thursday night of action to come with that. So if I do go through now, some drivers who I have commentated on, and some drivers I recognise, well, Marlin, I have commentated on him. I believe I commentated actually on him this week. Then we have Apen as well. Christian I also recognise. Brent I might have. Luno, yes, I do recognise as well. And is there anyone else? Wouldn't say so. Don't think so. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, Mitwee in the chat saying, let's go VRT as well. I've commentated on him before as well, so really looking forward to this, as I think all of us are, all of you in the live chat as well. So you have to listen to me for a bit more rather than getting into the action. So I'm just coming up with topics, but yeah. Now this is where I usually, especially when I'm alone, I have to just start random topics. Obviously F1 23 news as well came out yesterday, and the trailer. So let us know your thoughts on that in the live chat as well, on what's your thoughts on it. And then obviously we have Miami coming up, Baku. I don't really even think there's much to talk about. Yeah, but I'm talking about real life, by the way. Miami coming up, Baku, nothing at all I want to talk about Baku. Miami, well, rain, but I don't know if I can even believe that. So, but I think Red Bull will still end up winning if it's rain. So, hoping for a good race at Miami, but we can all just pray and hope. So, in the chat, we have Trakes, I think that's how you say it. Bad cause now high gear. Yep. So obviously, some advantages of the new game, some disadvantages at the same time. But I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping it's good. And usually I wouldn't obviously have to buy it. So after F1 22 I wouldn't buy it. But as obviously I'm now commentating and doing most of that, I'm literally gonna have to get it straight away. So for this year, it's basically not like that if I like the game or not. It's basically I just need to get it anyway, and hope it's better than 2022. And one thing I definitely want is no bugs, because it's especially annoying when you're especially commentating. It is actually annoying when, well, you're gonna have many restarts, then you're waiting for everything basically for everyone to get back in, and it can get very, very annoying. So here we go. Looks like half of the field now has readied up. More than that now, so we are going to be getting going, it looks like, for the 18 minutes qualifying. And always an exciting part to see what the weather is going to do here. So what is the weather going to do? Is it going to be fully dry? Is it going to be a bit overcast? Is it going to be, well, dumping it down? But we are going to find out. We are going to find out. I'm really hoping that, well, obviously I don't think the drivers will agree, or some might, but I want a bit of rain maybe in there in qualifying, but I would like a dry race. I think that's always what I prefer. If we can have some weather changes in qualifying, which obviously I prefer a bit of like bad weather to a bit more better weather, so then you get improvements till the last second. But let's see what the game is going to give us. Well, it's giving us currently the the 30-second timer once again. But we can currently see conditions looking dry, pretty sunny. So also, if any drivers are listening in, make sure you do let us if you have a clue about anything about the race, if that is even a thing. But I don't drive, so once again I don't actually have a clue on that. But 16 in the field, so we'll hopefully be heading on to the circuit very shortly to get to see some cars out there. But thank you for joining us if you are watching on. Obviously Tier 2 has not been able to get a stream, sadly, for a tiny bit, but you should be getting them. You should now be getting them weekly, so every week till the end of the season, because I'm available every single Thursday. And we have Dirk currently for VRT on an outlap as he goes through. Well, we can. It is kind of a banked corner at the same time, so I guess you can kind of call it that. And now we're on board with the Red Bull driver. And obviously Red Bull in the game. I need to get used to that. Definitely, I need to get used to that because, well, yes, Red Bull in the game, but we gotta go with the esports team names mostly in this. And we're gonna watch Dirk. We're gonna watch Dirk on this lap and see what he is able to do on his first lap. Obviously some drivers just want to get a good banker in, some drivers want to go straight out, push and not let anyone get close to them all session. So it'll be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Slowing right down, and then you go through the banked corner and you are going to be opening. You're going to be opening DRS, and now you're making your way all the way down towards turn number 1, which is Tarzan corner. Just go on the brakes and then run the car a bit more out wide and then get the power down. And now you're focused as we head down into the next few couple of corners and sweep it in. And then another long sweeping banked corner where you just want to get on the power. And then you don't want to run too much over the curbs there. And currently about to just making his way through these little sweeps. And then all the way now through turn number 7. And then heading down into turn number 8, place the car around the outside and then get it turned in, back over to the outside, just brake before the 50-meter board, runs it a tiny bit wide, might be though, to get a better run all the way into turn number 10. And then you go on to this second straight, which does have DRS, but you won't be seeing most of the overtakes here. Most of them you'll be seeing is down on the main straight down towards Tarzan, but we're now about to see Dirk go through the banking. We'll do a bit of off-board for this part, and then you go through the banking. You want to hug the inside, and you open DRS, and you kind of want to be looking like they're going into the pits. You want to stay right towards the pit wall, and then over the line he goes. 1 minute 10.530 to kick ourselves off with, and then we'll see, is there anyone currently coming most towards the end of their lap? We've joined Marlin. As he now goes all the way through the banking. Similar racing line, but it's just, have you been able to go faster than your rival on the lap? The answer is no. So Dirk currently, it did look like a very solid lap by him to kick ourselves off with. So currently he has the little advantage. We now join Luno in ASE Esports team, about to open the rear wing, and let's see what he can do over the line. And gets close to Marlin, but cannot beat Marlin, and obviously cannot get close to Dirk for now. But getting the laps come in as we have Spicer slotting into 2nd position for GSB, and then Ghost in 5th position, and then we have Brent in 6th, and then Christian, who got, I would say, a bit more of a, well, an extra outlap, I'd say, as now he's wasting because the 1 minute 24 is way off the pace, so it would have been a mistake most likely, and maybe he backed off a tiny bit. And then there we go. We now join Kusa as he comes over the line into 7th. Now I'm probably getting all of these names wrong in pronunciation, so do let me know in the chat if there's any way that they prefer me to say it, because you guys might know a tiny bit more. But yeah, Poker also slotting in to 2nd position. And well, looking very close currently. Very close, I have to say. And obviously all the drivers now just getting their first laps in. And Damien looks to be going for the push now. An extra out lap for him. Luke currently is on the out lap. And then we have Charcoal currently also pushing on. Now making his way all the way through the 2nd part of the lap. A few of these technical corners which you gotta navigate. A bit of an old school circuit this is. And then you go through and you just want to get on the power. You don't want to go over that curb. It'll unsettle you quite a bit. And then into the braking zone. And over the curbs a tiny bit. And then run the car out wide. And here we go then. Place the car around the outside because you want to swing it in. And you want to be able to get on the power. You make your way all the way through. Be banking. And once again hugging the pit wall a tiny bit. As over the line he goes. He goes into 9th position. So into 9th for him. And then... So who else do we currently have pushing on? Is Luke pushing on? It looks like he's backed out of it. As it did look like he lifted. So the driver's now coming in. Gonna get a new set of tyres on. And gonna go for push mode once again. And they're gonna be trying to set a faster lap than they managed. We'll cut to the gaps. We're obviously now in the first few runs I like to keep it on the lap times, and then I like to switch it more towards the end of the session towards the times, just so it's easier rather than me trying to work out the maths for the gaps. And then so we'll currently just we'll leave you with Charcoal. If Loke is on a lap we might join him. It looks like he is. So he is just currently pushing on. And it's a circuit. Now it's a circuit that a lot of these drivers might not like. As commentators we might not like either, but it does depend commentator to commentator. Now we can get mixed races around here, so I kind of don't know even if I like it or not. It can be boring, but it can also be exciting at the same time. But it depends how much safety cars you get and how the drivers are all racing and going for it. Because you might have the approach of all the drivers just being incredibly well, you can have all the drivers being incredibly calm and no one going for many risks, or you could have those frantic races where they're diving at left, right, center. Safety car is definitely a possibility around here if it was to rain especially. So over the line for Loke, and still stayed in 14, so he improved his time but struggling to get a good lap on the board at least. But under 10 minutes, just over 9 minutes. We're about to go under that. Looks like Dirk is pushing on. We'll join him. And he is backed right out of it. So he's backed out of it. So backing right out of it. And then he's now looks like he's going to go for a push lap again. And hoping that this time he... Well, obviously all the drivers aim on their laps is basically find a better lap than what we managed before. And Poker is definitely gonna be wanting to get the little edge this time around. So you can just see currently Dirk pushing on. I'm just quickly checking something as well. So VRT currently 1 and 2. So it is kind of the element of, well, Dirk is improving to the second part of the lap, but it is kind of the element of that you got to work as a bit as a team. So I kind of didn't realize for a second until I saw, well, they're in the same team, so I didn't notice that. But yeah, so we're gonna have a bit more of the team element. So they're gonna try and get a 1 and 2, but Dirk extending a bit of his advantage. We now join the other VRT driver. Ghost goes into second position, and that is definitely what other teams will try and do. Try and stop the VRT party currently going on. And I'm just getting something up at the same time, so I'm all trying to rush this all, as I've also left some of my main screens downstairs, because obviously real life coming on, so I need it more for that. So it's a bit more of a mess usually on Thursdays for me, especially doing F1 real life race weeks. So Team as one currently have their driver also in second, and then Marlin in fourth, Luno in fifth position, and then we have Christian in sixth, Brun right in seventh position as well. We're currently watching the XRT driver about to begin a lap around this circuit, which obviously Formula 1 were meant to start in 2020. Looks like he's backed out of it, has Brun, but they were supposed to start in 2020, but due to COVID and all of that stuff going on, it wasn't possible. But well, here in, and then they came 2021 obviously there, and then 2022, which 2021 was pretty boring, we have to say. 2022, well, I guess we can say that 2022 obviously kept us excited about the strategy part of it, but and obviously Verstappen just overtaking Hamilton at the restart straight away. So that was really all, but nothing really much. So hopefully there is a banger. Hopefully there is a banger though, which can be hard around this circuit. But here we go. Who is currently pushing on? Because we're now going to be getting into the business end of this session. Spicer across the line, goes into fourth. So into fourth position for him. And then Brun obviously backed out of it. He's now going to go for a push now, which is good for us, because now all the drivers are in the pits, they're going to now be getting a new set of tires and all of that. So while they do that, we have Brun to keep us entertained with his runs, and then probably when Brun finishes, we'll be heading over to Luke. So we have, and then obviously when Luke finishes, we'll probably be going right over to the drivers coming out. So I always like that little part, but there we go. So now I'll leave it at the gap for the rest of this session. For the majority, I like to have it on the laps, but in the business end, the gaps quickly tell us how close it is. As Julie just jumping in as well to make it 17 drivers. But did look like Brun also backed out. Loke about to go for it, is he? He might be going for a double out lap here. So a double out lap. So he's not pushing on. But we're definitely going to be seeing the teams wanting to spoil the VRT party, because when a team has a 1-2, especially around this circuit, it can be hard to kind of ruin it. because you're gonna have to hope there's a mistake from one of them and they basically slow each other up, and with it being a bit of a hard circuit, we can say, to overtake, etc. So you kind of want to be in the middle, just in case, because, well, obviously, for example, I'll use this as an example now. If Dirk is in first, Poker in second, you're gonna see Dirk obviously just leading, Poker using the DRS to just stay ahead of the cars behind. So it's kind of a bit of a DRS twin, especially when you have the two drivers at the front of the field all working together. You have much more of that. So out onto the racetrack comes Dirk. So Dirk is going to be getting ready. Now you just want to bring the tyres up to the optimal temperature for this lap. Get it all prepared, get it all ready. And in the live chat, everyone's supporting their different teams, so it is going to come down to an interesting one. But will it be Team 1 or will it be BRT or could it be GSB? We don't even know. It's going to be very exciting. And Mitri definitely wanting a Dirk first position. But Juventus Racing also in 5th. Are they going to be able to get it? So many question marks, but they are all going to be answered very, very shortly. Under 2 minutes to go. And now Dirk ready to attack this lap and see what he is able to do as he heads all the way down into Tarzan corner. Just go on the brakes at the 50-meter board and then get back on the power. Now get ready to go through turn number 2 and then the long sweeping banked corner of turn number 3. And it's a very hard part of that, but you're just trying to get the correct racing line in there. Hope you have timed it and got it to perfection. Any kind of little mistakes can cost you with how close it's going to be. He is finding time to the first sector. That is exactly what he needs. He just needs to go faster and faster than his previous lap to try and hope that no one else is able to beat him right at the end. Now, making your way all the way through turn number 9 and then the long sweeping turn number 10, which brings you onto the back straight, a very mini back straight, does have DRS. And then now get ready to attack into the braking zone of turn number 11 and turn number 12 and sweeping it right in. Hope you've got a good exit. Now that takes you carry the momentum all the way now to the last braking zone. It's a very short braking zone as well because of your foot to the floor then through the banking, and he'll be hoping that he can keep this lap up. Here we go then as he comes over the line, extends his advantage. And also in 3rd position we have Christian now. So this is going to be very, very exciting. Who is finding time on the racetrack currently? Looks like Spicer for GSB is finding some time. Currently sitting in 5th position. He wants to improve that. Marlin about to begin his lap.